What's up, YouTube? I got a Polo motivation for you, man. Polo motivation, bro. Look, what you have to realize is that in life, you're always going to have some sort of problems. You're always going to have something that's unfortunately going to get in your way. And see, when you get a good grasp of life, or before you get a good grasp of life, I should say, many of y'all don't even understand the concept of tackling the problem right away. But when a problem arises, you need to exterminate it quickly. And as you grow older, you need to understand that. You know, I was listening to Trey D, and for those of y'all that don't know who, oh, this is another thing too. I know some of y'all are wondering who this is on the picture right here. This is that's Winston from the original Ghostbusters. You know, not the one that's modern. I'm not gonna take away from them or anything like that. But to me personally, it wasn't as good as one back in the days. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, that's Winston from Ghostbusters. What were they, man? They had to get rid of the ghost. That's what they had to do. They had to exterminate the problem. But to get back to what I was saying, man, I was listening to Trey D on an interview with DJ Vlad, and he basically was talking about how when the Nipsey Hussle situation had taken place, and the guy that ultimately ended up uh, killing Nipsey Hussle or whatnot, he said he said that in order for there to be some sort of restore in the area or in the hood per se, he said that you would have to exterminate that guy, which means get rid of him or whatnot. And see, because he would be a problem. But I don't want y'all to think that I'm talking about getting rid of somebody or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. But you have to apply that concept to life in general, because a lot of you are your own problems and you don't even know it, and you attract your own problems and you don't even know it. If you're in a relationship right now, or a marriage, or with somebody that's holding you back from doing the things that you want to do, if you've done everything possible that you could to save that relationship or save that marriage or whatnot, get rid of it. Get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Or get rid of the problem. I don't want to. For those of y'all, it might be tough. You know what I'm saying, for me to say it like that, but get rid of them, because what that's doing is holding you back, and holding you from doing the things necessary that you need to do, and it's only adding on more and more stress. It's piling more and more stress, and you might not think that it is, but it isn't, but it is. So you gotta exterminate that problem ASAP. There might be a job that you unhappy with. You don't like that job. You every day you coming in there, after a while you begin to be hunched over because you're so worn down by all your problems, both in the mental sense and in the physical sense. Find your way out of that job. Do everything possible that you can. So it might even just be a case where you might have to just you say, you know what, I don't want to do this job anymore, and you just flat out just quit, and you might be without a job for a second. But the thing about it is that you're gonna be more unhappy working that job that you don't necessarily want to be at, and it's gonna cause you to do many things. It might cause you to go off on somebody. It might cause you uh, to turn to different things that you don't want to turn to, like in terms of addiction or something like that. You might be stressed out, might bring unwanted stress that you don't necessarily need in your life in terms of your job, and it's gonna affect your health too, your mental as well as your physical well being. You know, there might be some problems that you need to tackle in terms of your health. You know, if that's why, like, when you go to a doctor and they tell you, okay, hey, look, they give you fair warning as to what's going on with your health or whatever. They'll say, okay, yeah, well, you got you got this wrong with you, or this needs to improve, or you know you need to get your blood pressure down, or your cholesterol is too high, or something like that. That's just an example. you know well, they've already sat there and told you and assessed what needs to get fixed and what you need to do. So what you need to do is you need to fix that problem before it becomes an even bigger problem, and by then it's going to be too late for you to handle that problem. And that's the same thing that you have to do concerning your life. A lot of you take on all these necessary problems. Look, and I get it, man. I get that some of you are, y'all are martyrs, especially like my my brothers out there, my kinfolks. Y'all, hey, look, we have a prideful type of mentality. A lot of us saying, okay, yeah, man, I'm not even worried about it, man, or just riding it off or whatever. But guess what? The problem still exists, and you need to tackle your problem. If some of you have fears that you need to face, some of you have fears that you need to face. Like, for instance, some of y'all are afraid of, let's say you're afraid of dogs or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, you gotta be able to attack that fear. Some of you are afraid to go back to where you from, like, a certain area or something like that, because of whatever reason. Well, no, you gotta attack that, and you gotta go back to it, and you have to exterminate the problem. That's part of what exterminated a problem is facing the problem. But a lot of you sit there and you let those problems pile onto your plate, and by then your plate is too overfilled. Look, you might there might be a problem where you can't get through to somebody, right? Now those problems are a little bit complicated because you can only do so much. You can't change a person, how a person feels or what a person does. You know what I'm saying? And if you can do it, hey, that's great. But 9 times out of 10, there's only so much that you can do. So what you have to do is make sure that you did everything possible to try to implement a change or try to fix a problem or whatever. And then you got to leave that in the hands of the other party or whatever when it comes to a humanistic aspect. But when it comes to just everyday life and burdens or something like that, you gotta exterminate your burdens. If if you have certain bills that you have to pay, and they're always calling you, they're always they're saying, oh man, you got to pay this or you got to pay that and everything like that. Do everything possible to pay that off so you don't have to hear them anymore. You know what I'm saying? If you have a problem with a certain like individual and y'all just don't seem to get along. Like I know a story that's really gonna trip you out. Like I knew a guy, man, that I worked with a long, long, long time ago, man. And this guy, man, he was it was he worked at a place, and the lady was his supervisor. And believe it or not, the lady that was a supervisor, she was a little bit older than him. I think she was like maybe 6 or 7 years older than the guy. And the guy was pretty good. It was at like one of these little, it was like a little call center that I worked at a long, long time ago. It was like when I was in, I think I had to be, because I was in school at the time, so I was just trying to pick up a little bit of extra work. So I had to be about it, like in my young 20. I think I was like 20 or something like that, somewhere around there. But the guy was my age, but the lady was a little bit older. And you know, at first she was picking on him and stuff like that, but we understood that. Oh nah, she like you, dog. You know what I'm saying? She feeling you. She got a thing for you. You know what I'm saying? She's always coming around. You know what I'm saying? Just being real flirtatious with him and stuff like that. Well, dude ended up, he came to me one day, man. We was, at our desk and everything. We had our own desk and stuff. And he said, "Yeah, man, you'll never guess what I did or anything like that." I said, "Man, what did you do?" He said, "Man, yeah, you know, I slept." He pretty much said that he had sex with her. He slept with her. I was like, "What?" And I said, "Man, that was the wrong thing to do." He's like, "Man, what you mean?" Da, 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 da. I was like, "Man, that was the wrong thing to do." I said, "Because now you created a problem that you possibly can't fix." He's like, man, man, don't even worry about that, man. I got I got this place on lock now." I was like, "Yeah, you got it on lock, all right. And you about to be locked up. That's what you're about to be." So, you know, they were doing their thing. She was, they called themselves being a couple and everything, but little did he know that lady, that supervisor, she was in a relationship. She was heavy in a relationship. I think she was engaged. She was engaged to be married or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And all along, he was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? They were doing their thing, and this went on because I worked at that job for quite some time, but this went on for some months or whatnot. Well, the dude, uh, I think think they ended up, getting into it or something like that. They had they fell out pretty much to say the least. And he cursed her out real good and called all types of names and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, she's still in a relationship and all this other stuff. Well, the dude thought everything was over with. You know what I'm saying? But one day, standing outside and everything, and this dude just ran up and said, "Which one of you? Which one of you is such and such or whatnot?" You know what I'm saying? I said, "Shoot." He said, "It's me." He said, "What's up, dude?" The girl's uh, guy just smacked, just wailed on him and just started wailing on him and everything. Man, we had to had to get the dude, off of him. You know what I'm saying? Like I was cool with dude, but at the same token, it wasn't like, I just worked with him and everything. You know what I'm saying? I just worked with him or whatever. It was like kind of like a work communication or whatnot. And dude, man, we had to pull the dude off of him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We trying to figure out who this dude was or whatever, and then that's when she came out. She was screaming. She was like, "No, no, da 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 da, no, no, no," everything like that. But see, the reason why I mention that is because you know he created a problem that he really couldn't fix. You know what I'm saying? And see, that was a problem right there because number one, he was sleeping with someone that he worked with. You know what I'm saying? And when you're young, you don't think about nothing like that. You just think about, for girls, you think about getting it in, and for guys, you think about getting the wop. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, let's just keep it a stat. You think about getting the wop, and you want to add to your list or whatever. But it just goes to show you that you got to exterminate any problem. So if if you feel like there's a problem that's already getting ready to arise, some of you guys, man, you see a woman, and you like, she might be desirable and everything, but you don't really know that woman's backstory. Oh yeah, what's up with it, Slinky? I see you in the building. Thank you, man. You have a Merry Christmas too, man. Oh, and be safe out there. Uh, some of you, you have to eliminate whatever problem that there is before it arises. If you gotta fix something, on your car or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Tackle it right away. If you're trying to get yourself together in terms of your hygiene, in terms of your look and everything, you feel like it's a problem, tackle it right away. Exterminate the problem right away because it's gonna turn into an even bigger problem. As you progress in life, and that's pretty much what it boils down to is impeding your progress. That's what a problem does. It does the opposite of progress. It impedes your progress, man. Some of you, as we move further into the holidays and stuff, some of you might not have a good relationship or a destroyed relationship with whoever it is, and you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna get them no Christmas gift. I'm not gonna go see them for the holidays. I'm not gonna talk to them or any of that. Man, that right there is the worst thing that you could do because the vast majority of you, when if that person's sick or in the hospital or unfortunately loses their life or something like that, you'll be the you'll be the first one at the funeral, or when you hear the news crying, you know what I'm saying, and feeling some type of way because that person had to go. No, just listen. While that person is alive and while that person's feeling well, however they're feeling or whatever, you need to tackle that problem right away. Exterminate the problem. If y'all are not communicating because of something that might have happened when you were kids or something, and both of y'all can't get over the fact that it happened, sit down and talk about it. Even if unfortunately, you might have to come to blows if for my fellas out there, you might have to come to blows. Be like, as y'all, when you get older, like for instance, if I got a cousin and he hurt me some type of way or something like that, okay, yeah, we gonna fight, but right now we gonna put on the boxing gloves, because we older, or whatever. We ain't trying to kill each other, but we got some anger that we need to take out or something like that. So it's just like we gonna put on the boxing gloves, and then after that we'll shake hands, as opposed to, okay, we go somewhere at a family member's house or something like that, and y'all moving furniture, you're destroying everything, Christmas tree falling, something like that. You understand what I'm saying? But either way, what I'm saying, I'm I'm being comical about it, but it is a real thing. And some of you really have issues with a person where the only way that you'll be able to get past that issue is by having you by getting physical. Unfortunately, that's just what it boils down to, you know. And look, it's just life. There might be it might be a case where something took place and that person is so angered and infuriated by what you did that they had to move away from you, or else they were going to seriously hurt you. You know what I'm saying? And that tends to happen sometimes. But either way, you still have to exterminate the problem. Like there's family members that haven't talked for years, and I'm talking about 20, 30 years at a time. I got a family member of mine. They won't talk to a family member. It's been at least a good 20 years since they've spoken. You know, and that right there, that's unhealthy. You might not think that is not healthy, but it is, and it's not going to destroy that person. You're going to destroy yourself. You know what I'm saying? It just happens like that because you're supposed to be putting in good into the universe, not bad. So it's gonna have a dramatic impact on everyday life. But I don't I don't knock anybody for feeling because you only human, man. And you know it it's just it's just that a lot of people, they don't really have a good grasp of, okay, let me go ahead and let me tackle this right away before this becomes an even bigger problem. Some of y'all don't really have that mentality. Some of y'all sweep shit up under the rug, and it just doesn't work like that. You can do that, but you sweeping that under the rug, it's not gonna make it any better. Not at all. Not at all. And it's only gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. It's not gonna benefit anything. It's not gonna benefit you. any of that. Some of you, y'all complain about, okay, well, I can't get this done. I can't get that done. Some of you might want to. Some of y'all might want to purchase something. Like you want to own something. Well, you have to, like, okay, for instance, if you're about to buy a house, there's a lot of things that have to check off in order for you to actually purchase a home, much less even own the home, right? So you got to get this done, you got to get that done. Well, you got to think of what you want to accomplish, like the accomplishment actually being your house, and then whatever is on that checklist for you to do in order to check off, in order for you to actually obtain that goal of you getting the house, you have to tackle that, or in my words, exterminate those problems. It's the same thing. It's the same philosophy. Same philosophy. But see, we too focused on trying to take that problem and destroy whoever's in front of us, or destroy whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not trying to sit up there and make anything any better. You probably don't want to have anything to do with your family. There there might be a case where that person might want to talk, but they might want to get everything out in the open. They might want to tackle whatever problem that there was that still exists. But you might be stubborn and be like, nah, 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 I don't want to do it. I don't want to talk about it or whatever. There might be several people in your party that's trying to get y'all two together or whatnot, and they're trying to make things, come alive. But because you sitting there and be like, nah, nah, I don't want to do it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, that person's actually doing something good. You making the problem worse. The problem with a lot of you is that you don't understand communication. You have no concept of a conversation or communication at all whatsoever. The only thing you understand is just primarily confrontation. And look, I don't knock confrontation because, believe it or not, confrontation is can lead to a beautiful situation. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to bump heads every now and again. If it, that's what it takes. Now you're gonna have to bump heads with life in order to truly, get somewhere. Sometimes, some of y'all don't want to hear that, and some of y'all may not believe that, but it's the truth. If it's a certain career endeavor that you're trying to get to, and you're trying to make it, uh, you know, the way that you're gonna put your best foot forward, man, is by you tackling whatever problem that seems to exist. You know, I was listening to somebody. They were talking about how uh, I was on Black Knight channel. I was on the brother Max channel. Shout out to Max and the Ebony Star Network. And he was talking about how some of these some people on some of these platforms were disrespecting the military, United States military or whatnot. All branches and whatnot. And I'm like, that's the dumbest thing that you could do, and it shows the lack of knowledge of some people when they would say something like that. Because if they don't know, the military teaches you how to handle shit right away and get, take care of the problem right away. And that's what you have to do. You have to have a soldier like mentality to go ahead, get it out the way. Look, I know it's there. I know this is preventing me from doing yada yada yada. Let me go ahead and handle this right away. Let me go ahead and take care of this because this is impeding my progress. I'm not getting nowhere doing this. I'm not getting nowhere doing this. So that's all I got, y'all. I want y'all to have a safe holidays. Like the video, share it, subscribe. Also hit the notifications. Until then, man, it's Polo Sports Talking ENT, man. I'll get at you later.